Hey guys, Lugiamaster here, and today I am doing a creepypasta reading. And for the month of October, I'm going to do different creepypasta readings. Some good, some bad, some long, some short, but at least two of them are going to be age restricted. And for the people who are watching those videos, I think they'll understand why I'm going to do that. I don't like age restricting my videos, but for these two stories, I'm going to have to. With that said, let's get started with today's story. Today I am reading Smile, a Pokemon creepypasta. Shiny Pokemon are a true treasure that every Pokemon fanatic wants. Some say they are just simply different colored Pokemon, but I say differently. Shiny Pokemon are gems in the Pokemon world, so rare and valuable. They are different from the rest. They are special. They are better. I have never had the honor of catching nor seeing such a rare Pokemon. I have played every single generation of Pokemon games. Not a single glance. I swear, Nintendo must have a grudge against me or something. I've always wanted a shiny Luxray. It's been a dream of mine since I first started playing Diamond. Luxray is already amazing, but the shiny ones are 10 times better. I have a Luxray, and his name is Smile. I know it sounds silly, but when I first caught him as a Shinx, he was smiling. Still, never mind that. I would never encounter a shiny anyhow, but there is one way. I carefully inserted my action replay into my DS and started it up. After all the codes loaded, I searched and found the one I needed. It was titled Shiny Pokemon. I smiled and selected it, then quickly started Diamond. I mashed the A button until I got to the menu screen, which read Ariel, Twin Leaf Town, Badges 8, Pokédex 238, Time 3666. I continued and found my sprite in Twin Leaf Town, which was weird because I don't remember saving there. Nevertheless, I shrugged it off and opened up the side menu. I took a deep breath and clicked Pokemon. I almost squealed in delight. My party Pokemon all glimmered in different colors. They were all shinies. I clicked on each Pokemon, admiring their new and improved forms. And then I came to him. His beautiful yellow face greeted me, and this time I actually squealed. Smile, my Luxray, stood proudly in his new yellow skin. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. My dream had finally come true. That ugly blue color was washed away and replaced with that beautiful golden yellow. You're so much better now, I whispered to the screen. I exited out of the Smiles info and the menu. I was back to my sprite now. I thought that I might try out my new shiny Pokemon. I walked north until I hit a patch of grass. A battle started instantly. I found that strange because that has never happened to me before. The battle scene started and I couldn't believe my eyes. I saw the sparkles and the tiny cry. A shiny female Shinx had appeared. I was absolutely shocked. There was no way this was actually happening. The cheat I enabled shouldn't have had effect on wild Pokemon. I sat there for 5 minutes staring in awe before I snapped out of it. I had to catch her. The Shinx was only level 5, and the rest of my Pokemon were level 100, so there was no way I was going to take a chance in battle. I went to my bag and selected an Ultra Ball. There was a good chance I could catch it with just one. The screen went back to the battle, but the Ultra Ball didn't fly out as it normally did. Nothing had happened. I figured it must have just been the action replay messing with my game, so I went back and selected another Ultra Ball. When it went back to the battle, the normal upbeat music had stopped. It was silent. I sat there angry. Right there in front of me was a legitimate shiny Shinx, and I can't even make an attempt to catch it. I wasn't going to give up, no matter what. After about 10 minutes of selecting Ultra Balls, I heard Smile's roar. Smile used Thunder. It's not very effective. The wild Shinx fainted. I screamed. I literally screamed. My chance to catch a real shiny was thrown out the window. I started crying out of anger. This was probably my one and only chance. Why did you? I hate you! You'll never be as valuable as that Shinx! I screamed at Smile, and at that same time, the battle scene ended. I noticed that Smile's sprite glitched and some unusual pixels appeared. I didn't care about that. I was too mad to care. The screen switched back to the overworld. The area where I was standing was completely black. Damn action replay, I sighed. I figured I must be in the mystery zone somehow. Sometimes this happened. I selected my bike and rode east. I'm not sure why I chose that direction, but it seemed like a good idea, I guess. After about 5 minutes of riding in the black abyss, I stopped and opened my menu. The best bet to get out of there was to fly. It always worked. I selected Pokemon. The screen went black. I heard a faint roar, then it went back to normal. I gasped. All of my Pokemon were gone. There was one, though. To my horror, it was the Shinx. Her name was Missile something something something. I could only make out the miss part. The rest was just glitchy. I took a deep breath and selected the Shinx. I almost threw the DS at the wall. I have never been so scared in my entire life. The Shinx sprite was missing its eyes, its fur was mostly gone, and its skin was black and almost charred looking. The info on the side was engulfed with glitchy typing in pixels. I could just barely make out the OT. It looked like help. Help? I whimpered quietly. I quickly got out of the info and went back to the overworld. The silence was suddenly broken by loud beeps and screechy noises. I jumped from the suddenness of it and tried to turn it down. Nothing was working. It must have been the game cartridge itself. I wanted to turn the game off. I wanted to tell myself it's just the action replay, but I knew it was not. I willed myself to go on. I continued trying to go east, but my sprite wouldn't move. I tried west and south. Still no movement. I softly pushed the up button. My sprite took a step. So, north it is then. I started running north, and the noises were getting louder. A deafening cry came from Shinx. The screen turned off to the info of Shinx by itself, and the whole page was filled with random letters and numbers. The glitchy side had spread, and the horrible noises were louder than they ever were before. I felt tears running down my cheeks. I didn't understand what was happening. Suddenly, the noises stopped. I heard the faint roar again as the screen turned black. I saw my sprite walking, but I wasn't pushing any buttons. She stopped, and the explanation point popped up above her head. The screen moved forward to reveal the most horrifying thing I have ever seen. My Pokemon were laying around all over the black ground with some of their limbs scattered about. Glitchy pixels like the missing nose sprite replaced the missing areas on their bodies where the limbs were supposed to be. My sprite appeared again. She walked over to my shiny Banary, which I had refused to evolve into a Lopunny. It was missing her head, but my sprite picked her up. The screen went black again. A text box showed up on the bottom screen. We weren't good enough? The roar came again, and I recognized it this time. The screen flashed and revealed the area again. This time, Smile was there. It was horrifying. Smile's right leg was chained to the ground, and his mouth was crudely stitched up into a smile. Parts of his body were glitchy, including his back legs, which were missing. The regular blue color showed around the glitched areas. The rest of my Pokemon surrounding us had turned into glitchy pixels. Smile! What happened to you? I whispered. I could see that Smile was trying to cry, but the glitchy area around his eye kept him from it. I started sobbing even more now. I don't even know why. The text box appeared again. I thought you loved me. Was I not perfect? Was something wrong with me? Is Shinx better? I couldn't speak. I could only sob out incoherent words. Is Blue wrong? I'm sorry. I love you, even if you don't love me. We are best friends. Forever. I love you. The screeching and beeping came back, and the screen was flashing with glitchy images. In between the flashing, I could see Smile thrashing and trying to break the chain to get to my sprite. The flashing grew quicker, and I saw my sprite walking away from Smile, who was still trying to get to her. I could hear his faint roars over the screeching of the game, but they were no longer proud and mighty. They were weak, almost whimpering, as if he was dying. The sounds and animation stopped. The screen went black again. I'm sorry. I'm not beautiful. I love you. The save data has been corrupted. And that was Smile. So overall, I think this was a pretty good creepypasta. It wasn't too over the top, and it seems to be a little bit believable. Like this could actually happen in real life. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think of this creepypasta? And stay tuned to my next creepypasta reading video, and I'll see you guys next time.